Today, Baba is talking about thoughts. And in the world, people say that one should become thoughtless because they have figured out that it is thought that gives the experience of happiness and sorrow. And that is why they say that if you want to go beyond happiness and sorrow, then become thoughtless. But because Baba is the truth, and Baba explains Baba explains the truth about every aspect of this world. So Baba tells us that this is the field of action, this is the stage, and in this field of action, it is not possible that you don't create thoughts. Baba says, a soul always thinks. There is not even a moment when you are thoughtless. You cannot be like that here. Yes, in the soul world, in the sweet home that we come from, we are thoughtless because that world has a different quality. That is not the field of action. That is the field of rest. And in that state of rest, I'm beyond time, beyond thought, and beyond action. But here Baba says that in Satyug also you create thoughts, in Bhakti Marg also you create thoughts, and here also you create thoughts. But Baba says that although it is true that in this world we will always think, but what is the quality of my thought? Am I creating sinful thought? Am I creating ordinary thoughts? Or am I creating wasteful thoughts? So that is what makes the difference. Or am I creating those thoughts which take me beyond happiness and sorrow? So Baba says that you want to go beyond happiness and sorrow, then also you have to create thoughts, and through that you can go beyond happiness and sorrow. And in the Hindi Murli, there is this expression, Nirsankalp avastha. Now, Nirsankalp is basically translated as thoughtless, but Baba today gives a very new meaning to that Nirsankalp avastha. So Baba says, when you are beyond ordinary thoughts, wasteful thoughts and sinful thoughts, then also it is Nirsankalp avastha. Because when we are in the soul world, then we are beyond happiness and sorrow. And if here also we have what Baba calls Nirsankalp, then we will be beyond happiness and sorrow. And what qualifies as Nirsankalp in this world? Baba says, when you are thinking about matters of seva, yes, then that is kind of like Nirsankalp. Why? Because Baba says that when you create thoughts about service, when you create thoughts about godly service, then those thoughts do not give you either happiness or sorrow. Because you see, the interesting thing is, if a thought gives you happiness, then it will give you sorrow also. Yes, so when we create thoughts about godly service, then we are creating thoughts. When you create thoughts about godly service, so where do you position yourself in your internal world for creating thoughts about godly service? You position yourself between the 3 points of soul, Baba, and drama. Yes, so you are soul conscious, and when you are creating thoughts about seva, then you have positioned yourself in the swaman of I am an instrument soul. So when you're soul conscious, then you have to know that I am a soul, and then you have to know which soul am I. So when you're soul conscious, you take some swaman, some seat of self-respect. And when you are creating thoughts about seva, then the swaman that you take is I am an instrument soul. And then you cannot be an instrument without being in Baba's remembrance. So you are in Baba's remembrance. And you also, in Baba's remembrance and in soul consciousness, you are knowledgeful. You are knowledgeful about the drama. And when you are knowledgeful about the drama, you are in a state of acceptance and not expectation. So when you are in that state where you are positioning yourself like this is a very internal act of balance. So do you know, just like people who learn acrobatics and all, they have this act of balance where they will position themselves on some point or some rope, and they will be able to hold themselves there. And here you have to position yourself in complete balance between these 3 points. So you are the instrument, you have to do the work, and then you are in remembrance of Baba. So Baba is the Karan Karavanhar. You don't take any tension, you don't take any, you don't worry, and then you take powers and virtues from Baba, and you act knowledgefully, lovefully, peacefully. And then you also have complete acceptance about the result of the seva, because you know that everything is going to happen according to the drama. And that is why when you take a thought about godly service or about, thoughts about yajna seva, those are called Nirsankalp. Those are called thoughts that do not create either happiness or sorrow. Now, sometimes people think that when you create a thought about seva, it will give you happiness. But no, it shouldn't, because so happiness is very subtle. And if you are, so in Kali Yuga, we do not feel happy. We either feel excited or sad. So happiness is a very, is a state which is very difficult to feel in this state where, we are body conscious for 63 births. So what happens is, when we say we are happy, we are usually excited. And so what happens is, when you think that, when you create thoughts about seva and you're excited, then sometimes you don't do enough. So your thought, word and act is not matching. That happens. Other times you are excited, you do, but then when you get the result, you're not happy with the result, because in that excitement you are over expecting. So this is why when you have happiness at the stage of a thought, then the result is, you will get sorrow at the end. But Baba always says happiness is the product of good karma, or when you do seva, you will get happiness. So how will you get happiness? When you are beyond happiness and sorrow, you are in the state of neutrality while doing action, then as a fruit of that pure action, you get happiness. Yes, so if you create a thought for seva and that thought itself gives you happiness, then it's like eating the raw fruit. And then you don't get the fruit of that raw fruit that you have already eaten. But if you are able to do seva in this state of balance, if you are able to do seva and create a thought with beyond, by being beyond sorrow and happiness, then the product is happiness. And the product that we get out of seva, called happiness, the instant fruit that Baba says, when you do seva, you will get the fruit which will accrue to you in the future, which is the kingdom of Satyug, but you will get an instant fruit of power and happiness also right now. But that fruit is attained when you do seva in pure consciousness. And purity means you're beyond happiness and sorrow. So you are not excited, you are not sad, you are not expecting, you're just being an instrument, and you are in complete buddhi yoga, and you are in complete alignment with the drama. And even while you're doing something, many obstacles will come, but then you don't have emotional fluctuations because of that, because you are not attached to them. You are just in this, nyari pyari avastha, and then you do seva, and the fruit of that is what we call super sensuous joy, or that happiness which is not exactly excitement or pleasure, but that which fills you internally. So soul is like a food, so the happiness is like food for the soul. And just like food nourishes the body, then this kind of happiness is like strength for the soul, which gives nourishment to the soul. And it becomes, it is that nourishment which keeps you away from shaking, wavering, and being pulled by sorrow in other situations. So this is the kind of action that Baba calls as neutral action or Nirsankalp in Sangam Yuga. And then Baba says that when you are doing the seva of family and friends, but you don't take care of your vision, you don't take care of your drishti, then what happens is that vision makes that action of seva also a sinful action. So although apparently you are serving your friends and family, but then if you have thoughts which are emerging from the seed of vices, then even while serving, you are creating vikarma or sinful actions. So how do you check whether your thoughts are emerging from a state of vices? How do you understand this seed of vices? So how do you know whether lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed are motivating your actions? So I will tell you one incident. So there was this one mata, and she used to always tell me that I'm serving in my office, I'm doing Baba's seva in my office. And so yes, she was doing seva just like every BK. But then what happened is she would never, so in the office she was she became the in charge of conducting extracurricular activities. And then she started giving Raj Yoga classes or teaching meditation in those times. But then what happened is she started taking funds from that place which were allotted to those activities. And she never surrendered it in seva. She never surrendered those funds in to the center, but she kept those funds to herself. And then she would say that she was doing seva, and so far so good, because you cannot point out that it is not seva, it is greed motivating you. But then what happened is, one day the management decided that this person should be replaced by someone else as the person handling these extracurricular activities. And then when she was replaced, she got very angry, very upset, and then she called and she shouted and she screamed and she had a big reaction. And then she told me that these people are devils, and Baba says that, it is devils who will disrupt the work of God, and these are the devils disrupting the work of God, and that is why there are so many obstacles that I'm facing, and these people are bad people, and they took away Baba's seva. And so I said, but why are you having such a loud reaction? So I told her, it can never be that if the seed of your action is pure, then the consequence would be so reactionary or so sad or so upsetting or so distasteful. It cannot be like that. So I told her, I'm not telling you that, if some obstacle comes, you just give up. No. Of course you persevere. Of course you make all ends meet and you try your best. But then why this frustration and this anger and this sadness? So then I asked her, because earlier I never asked her about funds and all, but then I asked her, so did you get any funds for this? So because her reaction was bad, so then I understood that there is something else involved. And then I asked her, were you procuring any funds from the management? So she said, yes, they have some funds allotted. So I said, but you never submitted it in seva. And you never did any seva from your own salary also. And then you just said, I'm doing Baba's seva and Baba's seva, and you are taking the funds, and it is greed motivating it. It is not seva. And it is not at all seva. It is a sin. And that is why you are feeling this sorrow and anger. And otherwise, you would persevere. Of course, there is some obstacle. You will try to cross it, overcome it. We will also support you. Everything will happen. But why is this reaction coming? So, whenever there is this reaction that, and the interesting thing is, she did that for 3 years. But then that reaction wasn't there. Why? Because things were happening her way. And when we say the seed is a vice, how do you know? So, when the seed is a vice, so you do not, so how do you discern the seed? If somebody doesn't have very good knowledge of seeds, then, you discern the seed when the plant grows and bears fruit. Then you figure out what seed it was. So for a very long time, you might be doing something and not understanding what is it that's motivating you. But then when you're serving friends, family, or anybody, and then you get, so if they are cooperating and they're listening to you and they are, let's say you do a very simple seva, like sending messages, okay? So forwarding Baba's messages on WhatsApp. And what happens when somebody blocks you? Yes. What happens when somebody writes a big note for you where they are criticizing your actions? Or what happens when somebody doesn't respond the way you wanted them to respond to it. So then when things are not happening your way, if you're having a reaction, yes, the reaction could be getting irritated. The reaction could also be, you know, creating a distance. Yes, the reaction could also be that because somebody blocked you, you blocked them back. Or somebody wrote to you, then you also said, yes, yes, I understand you have boundaries and I will respect them, and you stop sending them messages. So if you are not able to persevere with the same love, same respect, same interest and enthusiasm, despite not receiving the right result, then Baba says your vision is not alaukic or godly. Your vision is that of vice, and you have attachment. And attachment, expectations, and disappointment, they are connected. So disappointment is the sign of attachment. And you cannot, everybody thinks, I'm lust free, anger free, ego free, attachment free, everything free. But no, we are not. And Baba says, then if you're doing this, then it creates a sinful account. And Baba says that's why you want to be free from sin, be free from every attraction. And it's not just about Baba's seva, but when a Brahmin does anything, it is seva. Yes, so a Brahmin is here to settle karmic accounts. And settling karmic accounts means you do everything with the intention. How do you settle karmic accounts? When you change your attitude towards your everyday activities as seva. So, for a Brahmin, everything is seva. I get up for seva, I eat food for seva, I talk to people for seva, I fulfill my duties for seva, because I am the instrument. So whether I take care of the instrument or whether I take care of the work the instrument does, I am always an instrument. And Baba says, in all your actions, if you're free from attachment and attraction, then your actions are settling karmic accounts. Otherwise, they are creating more and more accounts of sin. So, service is not just when you give Baba's you are Baba's showcase ka showpiece. So wherever you are there, it is Baba. You are representing Baba. Your words, your actions, your conduct, your behavior, your thoughts, everything serves. So Baba says, just look at when the seed is vices, and when you are doing something and then not getting the result of it. For example, you're just teaching you're just teaching the children at home. And if you don't have godly vision, then if you're teaching them and they're not studying, you'll get irritated. Or you taught them and they didn't secure good marks, you will be disappointed. But if you continue to teach with love and with acceptance, despite they getting whatever marks they are getting, then it is settling the karmic account. And Baba says that maybe sometimes, somebody will not be able to be free from this pull of karmic accounts. Maybe, sometimes whenever you come into, whenever you go to work, or whenever you try to be detached, or whenever you try to fulfill your duties in a state of peace, then you end up feeling that you are not able to be free from the pull of karmic accounts. Yes, and it is becoming a struggle. Then Baba says, even then, don't leave Baba's hand. So Baba says, I remember there was this one Mata, and she said that I'm not able to do Amrit Vela, I'm not able to be regular for Murli, and I'm not able to I'm not able to do anything that Baba says. So that's why I left Baba. So I said, and when you left Baba, did that improve the situation? So what did you gain by leaving Baba? So yes, you were not able to do anything. That much I understand. But how did you think that leaving Baba is the solution for that? So, Baba says, even if somebody is not able to do all of that, then at least hold on to Baba. Do something. Something is better than nothing. Then don't leave Baba. Because, sometimes ego works in very wonderful ways. And ego will tell you, what are you doing? You have been a BK for 2 years and you are not even able to do a regular Amrit Vela, or you're not able to do this or that. So just, leave the path. But then if you're not able to do anything with Baba, then what would you do without Baba? And then what will your condition be? So Baba says, at least don't leave me. If that is your condition, that you are not able to improve, then at least, sometimes when we listen to the Murli, then some people don't listen with their heart, they listen with their egos. And then their ego starts working, and one way in which ego works is make you feel guilty. And then, the language of ego is feel guilty, do nothing. And the language of self-improvement is if you feel guilty, do something. Yes, but ego will tell you that I'm listening to the Murli and class and then I'm feeling guilty, so let me not do anything, let me leave Baba. So that I don't feel guilty. But you feeling guilty is not the problem. You doing that which is making you feel guilty is the problem. And will you do it more or less when you leave Baba? So you will do it even more. And I remember there was this one person, and so I will tell you about how ego works. So there was one person in the Brahmin family, and they behaved very badly with me. And then somebody else said, this person is a BK and they behave so badly. So, did your faith in Baba not shake? So I said, see, that person behaved badly, and that behavior is already done and dusted. So, that whatever they could do, they did. So now I reacting to that is not going to solve that. Right? If you think that I was insulted, me reacting to his insult is not going to restore my respect back. Is it going to be? No. So what I have lost, I have already lost, right? So now I have to take care of what I have left. So, and if I spend my thoughts in reacting to what I have lost, then I will lose what I have also. So you keep your opinion to yourself and don't give me that. So one BK is not okay, so no problem. That BK is not my problem. I'm not going to come with him or her in this Sangam Yoga. So I'm going to go with Baba. So let me not focus on that. So ego works in many ways, and you should be able to see how ego works. So Baba says, I'm giving you points for self-improvement every day, points for check and change. Do that. And if you feel guilty, do it more. If you feel that when you listen to the Murli, you feel I'm not doing this, then do it. Don't think about leaving Baba because you can't do it. And then third thing, Baba talks about sin in a very specific way, that Baba says, because you don't understand Baba, if you think and speak negatively about Baba, then that takes you to destruction. So, be having vicious thoughts with people, or having thoughts of, sin, or thoughts of ordinary thoughts, all that is again next second. But first is your thoughts about Baba. And Baba says, many children, because they don't recognize me, because of lack of recognition, they think and speak, and sometimes, they even put it into words, and they talk about me in a negative way, or think about me negatively. And those thoughts, they lead you to destruction, because only those who have faith will win in the end. So Baba says, faith will lead to victory and doubt will lead to destruction. So Baba says, if you have negative thoughts about me, the one who is the savior, the one who has come for you, then who will save you? So that is why be very wary of thoughts. So thoughts shouldn't be sinful. And how do you define sinful? Sinful is with the intention of lust, anger, ego, attachment, greed, with that seed. If it is there, then that thought is sinful, and it is that action is sinful. Then Baba says, if you do seva, then that is a neutral thought. The thoughts of seva are neutral thoughts. And then Baba says, these thoughts that about Baba, they are very self-destructive in nature. Negative thoughts about Baba are self-destructive. So, and then Baba says, those who have, those who become free from vices, those who are able to always have this pure thoughts, considering themselves to be an instrument, they are the ones who can do very good seva. Their thoughts, words, and deeds serve, because purity, the vibration of purity, reaches the other. And when you have pure state of mind, then, when you're soul conscious, you have Baba's remembrance, and you are free from vices, and your intentions are pure, and then there's the vibration of purity in your seva, then whatever you speak, whatever you do, will bring everyone closer to Baba. And that is the sign of a soul who is free from vices and a good tapasvi. Okay? Om Shanti. Anybody wants to share anything, please do.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Today I would like to share about Baba's service. I don't know whether I was not much knowledgeful few years back and not so powerful, but I was always interested to serve my family friends and tell them the knowledge about Baba, make them come closer to Baba. And then I started with making them hear Murli. I myself read Murli, make them sit together. Then later on, I discovered that it was my attachment, which is making me so much eager to serve them. Then it was not easy to go let of attachment, but still I was as I learned Murli, I tried to make myself better. But because I had no control over my emotions at that time, and I was reacting also, then same family and friends started pointing me out. You are not eligible to read Murli for us.
Yes.
And I faced many levels. They all keep me pointing out every time. You do like, and so I am managing myself. No, I have to become a good instrument. I will remove all my vices.
Correct.
I will not remain like this. This will be very wrong deed if I do this with Baba. And always I have one determination that Baba is ocean of love. And he loves all his children unconditionally. But those children who understands his occupation and becomes a good instrument, Baba loves them the most.
Right.
And remembers them the most. And this thing attracts me, Didi. I don't know how much I can, but I will. I
But
think
you know
so.
what? Don't come into this feeling that I'm not eligible to serve because I have some defects or something. No. You see, even if somebody tells you, this is a problem or you are not doing this, so you must tell them that I'm trying, but then I'm doing some things and I'm inspiring you to do that. So let us do it together. So don't just, because somebody told you, don't come into that feeling that, somebody pointed out, so I'm not eligible. No. I remember there was this one person and they told me once that, because you made this mistake, you cannot teach. So I said, but those who fail UPSC exams, they become UPSC coaches.
Yes.
And they make other people, they make other people pass those exams. So that is happening in the world. So I may have learned a thing or two. I'm not saying I have learned everything, but I may have learned a thing or two. And I would request you to look at that. And whatever I'm saying, I'm not saying it from myself. I'm telling what God tells us. So the curriculum is perfect. So if you understood it, you imbibed it, so just like that person failed, the teacher failed, but the student can pass because the teacher is a failure. The study is not that the study to fail, right? The study is the study to pass. So you can just don't lose that confidence. And it's not how you put it across. It is rather about talking to yourself that maybe I have defects, but that doesn't make me ineligible to share Baba's knowledge. Okay, so don't lose that confidence. Okay, Om Shanti. Thank you.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Anybody else wants to share anything?
Shanti Didi.
Om Shanti Bhai.
Basically, a small learning which I want to imbibe from today's Murli, that honesty with Bab Dada is most important. We should never perform any acts which is full of vices secretly, and nothing can be hidden from Baba. Confession and honesty brings future protection.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Om Shanti.